All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for coming. My name is Jeff Harris, and
Donna.
my wife Donna. We're the owners of Run With It. We're a running store in downtown Fort Walton Beach, about probably 7 miles east of here. So right on Highway 98. And just want to apologize up front. We're terrible public speakers. So we'll try to do good. We'll try to do good. But anyway. Again, welcome, and just a quick question before we start. I know you guys are getting into the Wake Warriors program. How many of you guys are runners? I love it. That's perfect. That's great. All right.
So yeah, we just handed out a few handouts. We at Run With It, we just started a Couch to 5K program. So it started last week, but if anybody's interested, you can come on by and we can get you signed up. But it's for beginner runners. It's one way of doing it is joining a program where you can do it on your own. I know there's a lot of apps out there. But so you've got the handout. It gives you more information on that. But I also gave most of you, I ran out of them, a running plan as well, which you could use for yourself as a guide. But we start with, in our Couch to 5K program, we have like 4 different things you could do. We have some people that just want to walk a 5K. We have 2 different interval levels, a beginner and advanced. And then we have people that want to run a 5K. But we usually start out with intervals, run, walk throughout the program. So it's very doable. If anybody's interested, let me know after the course. And then we also handed out some races that are coming up. There's so many this time of year, but there's the Frosty 5K this coming weekend. There's a Valentine's Day run in Destin. There's the Lucky Leprechaun coming up in March. So there's lots of fun 5Ks that you can either walk, run, they're family friendly. So it's nice to have those choices out there. And then I also gave you a couple of magazines, that kind of thing, just to have. We have these 2 for them.
Yeah, that's this out too. To back up before you get going with that. So the races, the race flyers, a lot of the races around here are put on by the Northwest Florida Track Club, which is just a group of running enthusiasts. They've been around for about 35 years. And, there's lots of runs year-round. But the thing about running here in this part, there's so many runners, and it's very social. Say that running is the new golf, because people come out, they do the races, whether they're competitive or not, and then after the races, there's after parties. So there's beer, there's food. It's really a social setting because you burned all those calories. You want to go replace them with beer.
What is your food?
Exactly. You got to hydrate.
It is very social, and that's what makes it fun. You start to really meet a lot of people. There's a huge running community here that we didn't know about when we first opened. So it's a lot of fun. It's more than just the running. It's a social outlet too. You want to kind of give more quick history?
Yeah, a quick history of Run With It. We opened about 8.5 years ago. My wife and I were in the restaurant business prior to being in the running business. We owned restaurants in Birmingham, Alabama. And we always dabbled in running. We didn't run in college, we didn't run in high school. I played tennis as a junior, she played basketball. We ran just to burn calories so that we could drink.
Maybe a mile here and there.
Yeah.
On the treadmill at the gym, incorporating it with our other exercises.
But we got into running, probably, I got into it first. I was probably about 40 and got to be friends with the people that owned the local running store in Birmingham. And our restaurant was out the street from them. So we would cater their running functions. So we got to be friends with them, and they got us to come out and start running, and I was doing their group runs on Tuesday nights. And one thing led to another, and the timing was right, and we sold our restaurant, and we wanted to do something different. We didn't know what we wanted to do, and someone came up with the idea that we should open a running store because we love to run. And long story short, we did, and we opened our running store in downtown, in Navarre Beach. There's not really a downtown. And that was 8.5 years ago. And we always, again, we just dabbled in running. We weren't big runners. But because we run for a living and we deal with it, we had to have the street cred. So we started doing 5Ks and 10Ks and half marathons. We just did a 50K this past 2 weeks ago, which is 32 miles. Which she is the longest distance runner. She loves it.
I like it more than he does. It was really funny because, talking about setting goals, I'm like, well, this could be our next goal, and he hates distance running. Absolutely hates it. But he decided to do it with me anyway. So it was challenging getting him out and going, and he loves like up to a half marathon. He's happy, but anyway, he did it, and he feels very accomplished. And he said it's a one and done. He'll never do it again.
It was 2 and 1. It was 2 and 1. It was my first and last. But we have that street cred. So what I'm getting at is, even though you guys are not runners, you can be. It's never too late to start, and you're out there. It doesn't matter your pace, your speed. It doesn't matter as long as you're out there doing it. It's so good for you. There's nothing like cardio to burn calories and to make you feel good.
But yeah, so we understand how it's intimidating to walk into the running store and to join a group, and but we remember all that. When he first started running with the running club, he was like, "Come on down." I was like, "I'm not a runner. I don't want to do that." But finally, I did, and I started meeting people and realized that everybody starts somewhere. So it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're here today to just give you a few tips on running or walking. We always say running, but run, walk. And I think the most important thing you can do first is to make a plan and set your goals. So the best way to do it is choose a goal run. So like with our Couch to 5K program, the Lucky Leprechaun in March is our goal race. It's an 8-week program. So that gives us just something to work towards and attain, hopefully. And let's see, the other things that may work for you are your PT test. Some people might like mud runs. You could work towards anything. Just choose a goal. And the next thing is establishing how many times a week you're going to run. If you can run or walk 3-4 times a week, that's perfect. You want to do most of your run or walk at a regular conversation pace. And then if you can, like maybe on the weekend, have a longer run too, because that's gonna build your cardio, it's gonna build everything else. And then if you can stick a 4th day in there, you want to do a tempo run, and that's a run a little above your conversation pace. So say more like, not race pace, but a quicker pace.
If you're having a hard time talking to the person that's with you, that's what you're striving for.
That's your tempo run, because otherwise your conversation pace, you want to be able to trot along and have a very good conversation without being out of breath.
And if you can't do that, you're going too fast.
Yeah. And you don't want to go too fast. It's not about being fast at all. It's about building slowly, building your large muscles and your small muscles and your breathing capacity and your endurance and all that. It takes a while. Plus, everything else that y'all are doing is really cool. You have this wonderful facility here. It's just amazing. Let's see. And you also want to definitely incorporate rest days, because you tear down your muscles and they get micro tears and they have to repair themselves, and that's how you get stronger. So you always want to rest at least a couple of rest days per week, because that's how you really build. Other things you can do to make yourself accountable is write it on your calendar. Treat it like it's an appointment. Have it written down so you know you've got to make that appointment. Tell your friends and family that you're starting a running program or a workout program, and that way they're going to ask you about it. Put it out there, make it available so you're accountable to those people who are excited for you. You also maybe put it on social media if you're a social media person. I have a girlfriend that just, she's always been a little overweight, and she tries every year to start something, and she finally put it out there. I think it's called Where My Journey Begins, and she posts all her workouts, and it's amazing the responses she gets and all the support that she gets from her friends. She's like, "Atta girl," and that means everything, it just really helps. You want your cheerleaders. Let's see. Also, you can also, if you can't get to a Couch to 5K program like ours, then you can download one, put it on your phone, and you can set it up however you want. It could be if it's just walking or walk running, that kind of thing. So that's definitely an option, and we carry, and we're going to show you a few things that help with this. But you can carry your phone and an armband, or we've got belts at the store that you can carry your phone in, and so that is another way to help get your plan out there so you can hear it. There's also, when you do intervals, we have an interval timer, which is called the Gym Boss, and it beeps when you're supposed to run, and it beeps when you're supposed to walk. So it just, you can invest in a Garmin, which we'll talk about in a little while, or a running watch, but this is like a $20 easy way to do your intervals in. And I keep on talking about intervals. So intervals are your run walk, and you can set it up wherever your comfort level is. If you want to just walk and then fast walk, you can do that. If you want to start running, then maybe you can run for 30 seconds and then walk for 3 minutes. Or if you're a little more advanced, run for 2 minutes, walk for 2 minutes. So you have to figure out where your intervals will be and then you can set up your timer like this, and it helps you do that. So on an interval program, if you do want to end up running like say your goal is to run a 5K, you would slowly increase your running and slowly decrease your walking to where you can, over a time, say like our program is eight weeks, and so throughout the 8 weeks, and by the end, hopefully you can run a whole 5K, but you want to start slow because you don't want to get injured, you don't want to get setbacks. So that's what I mean when we say the interval method. There's other things you can do. Other good free plans online are Jeff Galloway. You can Google Jeff Galloway, you can Google Hal Higdon. And it looks like they want to sell you the plan, but you can actually scroll down and you can get a free plan and print it out. And I gave some of you guys a plan, and that's our Run With This plan for our Couch to 5K program, and you can absolutely use that. You just pick which one you want to start at, depending on your athletic level, I guess. What else? Let's see. Okay, and also, as you're going through the program, you have to let your body acclimate, as y'all learned with all the things you're doing, that you're going to feel really fatigued at first, and you're going to dip down, and you might feel great for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden you're just fatigued and tired and kind of spent, and you just have to know that if you're consistent and work through that, then all of a sudden you're going to get back to, your muscles are going to be ready, and you're going to be feeling great, and so just keep on going. Just don't worry about those dips that you have in your activity level and fatigue, because you're going to get through that as long as you're consistent. So other ways to get motivated and keep on going is joining groups like Run With It. We have a Tuesday night run, and we also have the Northwest Florida Track Club locally. Jeff will tell you about the track club. You did. So the track club also has a great calendar on their website. It's NWFTC, which stands for Northwest Florida Track Club, and it tells you about all the upcoming local races. It'll have race results.
It also has their group training runs, which are free runs that the track club is affiliated with. So, for instance, is there one Monday night? Monday night there's one out in Destin at one of the Bric-a-Brac is the restaurant. So you can show up and just run and then go out there afterwards, and they have discounts on food and drink and that kind of thing. Tuesday night we have a group run at Run With It. It starts at 5:30. Or it's 6. Wednesday night there's World of Beer. Thursday night there's another one on the island. It's like almost every single night of the week there is a free group run that you can go to and show up, and it makes you accountable. You start to meet people and you see them there, and then they, next week if you're not there, then the next week when you come, they're like, well, where were you? So they shame you into coming. You're accountable. So.
And you want to read about running, get Runner's World, go online and read running articles. I gave y'all some magazines, and once you start reading stories about other people's successes, and it makes it so much more motivating and exciting, and maybe I can do this too, So lots of good information out there. Just kind of submerge yourself in it, and then reward yourself. If you've been great and you've kept on, on task for 2 weeks, then go get that cute running top that you like, or go get you a water bottle, or you don't need that much to get started. In fact, we're going to talk about some of the things that you absolutely need to get started. And of course, running shoes is the number one thing you really need. And he'll tell you about how we fit at Run With It.
So there's a method to the madness. A lot of people go into a store and they see a wall of running shoes and they say, oh, that one's cute, I'll take that. And you try it on and it feels great. And you don't realize until you go out and you're on your second or third mile in it that it doesn't feel so great anymore. And it may be that your feet feel fine, but your knees hurt, or your hips hurt, or you're starting to get shin splints. The method to the madness is running shoes come in different degrees of support. And it's based on how high your arch is and what your feet do as you go through your gait cycle. So some people have really high arches and run on the outside of their feet. Some people have lower arches, roll towards the center. They would be in 2 different shoes. And when you try the shoes on in a store, they feel good on your feet. That's something that you don't know until you're into the run, unless you go and you're properly fitted in a shoe, which is what we do at Run With It. For every person that comes into our store, we do a fitting process, which is a matter of watching them walk barefoot, seeing what's going on with their feet, narrowing it down to a particular category. So there are 3 categories of running shoes. There's a neutral shoe made for someone who has good arches, doesn't roll in, maybe rolls to the outside, which is called supinating. Gives you lots of arch support and lots of cushioning, but doesn't force your foot to do anything. Then you've got a stability shoe here, which is made for somebody that has a little bit lower arches and rolls to the center. I can't make myself do it, but they roll toward this direction.
Very common.
And that's called overpronation. So these shoes are designed to stop that from happening. They do the work so your body doesn't have to. And usually, if you're having problems with shin splints, it's because you're in a shoe that doesn't provide that right amount of support for you. So the other category, the last category, is called a motion control shoe, which is what this one is, which is the most supportive of any shoe. It's made for somebody that's really, really flat-footed and rolls to the center tremendously. You can see a lot of people if you're walking on a track or watch them walk. It almost looks painful to see them walk. But this shoe is designed again to do the work so your body doesn't have to. And getting in the right shoe will take the pressure off of all of your lower body, your hips, your knees, your shins, wherever.
And there's also, the cushioning also helps, of course, with the impact. So Hoka is a great brand we love. It's fairly new.
Hoka originally designed for people running 100-mile ultra marathons. It looks big and punky. It weighs nothing. This shoe weighs like 7 ounces. I'll let y'all come up and play with it when we're done. But there's literally no impact when you run in the shoe. So people who've had surgery, have bad backs, have bad knees, replacements, what have you, they find that they can run again because there's literally no impact. They are wonder shoes. And then you have the opposite end of the spectrum, which is a minimal shoe, like the one I'm wearing here, which is great for CrossFit, working out, things like that. Very little support, very little cushioning, but it seems that a lot of the military guys, especially the special ops, they love them because they can use them for anything. They can run in them. They fit in their. They use them as booties in their fins when they swim. It's just a really cool shoe. Yes, ma'am.
On the Wonder Shoe?
Mhm.
Male or female?
Yes.
Yes.
The Wonder Shoe, I like that.
Sure.
The Wonder Shoe.
So,
But yeah, and all this we say running is all, you can use your shoes for walking, you can use them for the gym, as long as you're in the right type shoe, that's a good thing, you can use it for all these different things. You just wouldn't want to run in a walking specific shoe. So, in fact, we have doctors and nurses that send their staff in for this, the patients in for not just this, but Hoka especially. But so it's good for a lot of different things because there's so much technology in these shoes that it's really good for just everyday.
For standing.
Yeah. And the other essentials that you need, I guess, would be socks, because most people are wearing cotton socks, and cotton stays moist, as well as shirts. When you run in a heavy cotton shirt and you're just dragging down, it just stays moist. Whereas a technical sock, it's usually made out of a poly blend, some kind of synthetic blend. It may get moist, but it dries quickly, so it pulls the moisture away from your foot, and it dries it quickly, so you're less prone to get blisters and hot spots and that kind of thing. So we carry all kinds of brands of good technical sock, everywhere from a 3-pack that's less expensive up to some pretty expensive ones. So also running bras for the ladies. That's the other essential. I'm pointing at him. This is one. He didn't bring this is like your little yoga bra, but we have some very, very supportive bras. As y'all all know, it's very essential that you're comfortable in your run with the right sports bra, and we also can help you get fitted in that as well. And a lot of them have, as we were talking about earlier, they have Velcro, so you can adjust it. They have a hook and eye, maybe 3 deep, so you can really adjust it and make it work for you. And we can also help with the fitting process there, which is good.
it's invaluable to get properly fitted in anything, whether it's your bra or your shoes. What I was going to say, and I got away from it, but the one thing that we see almost across the board, everybody that comes into our store is wearing shoes that are too small because they haven't been properly fitted. Most people think guys suspect guys are really terrible about it. They, when they were 18, they were a size 10. So they come in, what size you wear? Oh, I wear a size 10. And you bring out a size 10 and they're like smushed into it. So you measure them and they're actually measuring like an 11 and a half or 12. And then the thing that nobody realizes is that you should size up a half to a full size bigger than what you measure because your feet swell when you exercise. Blood tends to pool in your extremities, so you want to allow room for that. So when we get everybody fitted correctly, it's amazing how comfortable your feet are because you've got room to move your toes around. And after a mile or two, you can can still do that. Your feet don't hurt. They don't go numb and things of that sort.
And I was guilty of that way before we opened the store. I would go to the big box store and I would pick that cute little Nike off the wall. And I did it 3 times because we really started running. And I was like, what is wrong with me? My feet are just killing me. Well, I didn't get measured because there was nobody there to help me or measure me. And finally, he's like, go to the local running store. So we went down to the running store and I thought I was a size 7. I was literally measuring a size 8 and they put me in a size 9 running shoe. So that's why my feet were hurting all the time. So you don't think about it getting measured as an adult, it's very important. So we'll move on a little bit to what you need for pre-run or pre-walk. You definitely want to fuel. You want to eat. You want to eat about an hour and a half before you go run because you want your body to be able to process it so you don't get a gut bomb, when you're running. You want to eat some kind of complex carb or some kind of carb before you run, less protein, about 200 to 400 calories. It's just going to make you feel better. You're not going to get as fatigued. You want something in your stomach. For example, English muffin with a little bit of peanut butter smeared on it, yogurt, a little granola. It all depends on what you can tolerate. Like I eat a banana. If you're in a hurry, we have all kinds of. Did you get mine?
Yes, you can sit right there. This thing.
Yeah. I love these things. It's like a cookie. But it's just a natural energy because it has honey and carbs, and it's not too hard on the stomach, I guess. I love the waffles. There's energy gels from GU and Honey Singer and some other brands, and they kind of give your carbs and a little bit of sugar maybe that you need, and you're just going to feel so much better. I didn't used to do anything before I ran, and finally once I started, I was like a whole other person. As well as hydration. You really want to start hydrating, any exercising, I guess, the day before, though, especially if you're going to do, say, a 5K or something like that. You want to hydrate the day before. You can hydrate with water, coconut water, sports drinks, Tartary juice is the new thing, all kinds of things. And then, if you can, about 2 hours before you run that morning, depending on when you get up, if you can get in about 20 ounces the morning before you run and give yourself time to it's very good. It just makes you feel better along the way. And if you're in training to hydrate, we have handheld water bottles. You can also find water stops along the way if you just can't carry something. If you have a running or walking route, find a water stop. But if not, carry a handheld. Going a little bit longer, the belts are great because you could actually put water in one jug and then say electrolyte replacement in another one. If you're exercising over 45 minutes, then you definitely want to incorporate electrolytes. We carry some in the store. It's called Noon, and they're good. They're little tablets that you put in water. And there's other things, you can do your coconut water, that kind of thing, but you definitely want to put electrolytes into your plan because you start to sweat it out. You start to sweat out your salts and your potassiums. And if you're just drinking water, you're kind of diluting everything. So you want to always, if you're exercising over 45 minutes, add the electrolytes. And you can do it the day before, too. So also on your pre-run, you want to get warmed up. But we used to all just do our static stretching. But science says it's better to do active stretching. What do they call it? I always forget the name of it.
Dynamic. Dynamic.
Thank you, dynamic. Why didn't I know that? Active, dynamic. So, for instance, walking for 5 minutes before you go out, a nice slow walk or a little bit of a brisk walk to get you started. You can do jumping jacks. You can do butt kicks. You can do soldier marches. You can do grapevine, grapevine. All these things kind of get all your joints and muscles ready for your run. So that's a better way to stretch out and warm up. And let's see, in good running form, you want to show some good running form?
I'll talk about it.
Okay, how about that?
So, right now, as things evolve, coaches teach different things. Right now, the good running form, the coaches are saying that you should take about 190 steps a minute, okay? Which sounds like a lot. It is. It's a lot of short steps. So what you're trying to avoid is really striding out. You want to be more upright, knees bent, feet underneath your body, kind of a forward lean to your run. And you want to take a lot of small steps because by not striding out, it puts a lot less pressure on your knees and your joints as you hit. So it's almost like if you went out to a field and you took off your shoes and you ran barefoot. your body automatically changes and you start running a different way than you do with shoes because you feel the ground. It's called proprioception. Is that right? Proprioception. So you want to try to mimic that same style of running with shoes on. And it all comes down to body posture, and it's knees bent and lots of really short steps. So that's...
Yeah, and it feels odd. I mean, you can actually practice around your house. You know, you just want to land on the ball of your foot, particularly short steps, and almost like you're being pulled by a string from your chest. So you want to keep your body straight, like you're falling into your run. Because if you are doing this, like you were saying, you're putting on the brakes. So it's a lot of, a lot of jarring on your joints. So, and that's obviously a very quick review. But it does help, and you can just practice at home, and it's not about speed. But really, once you get better at it, you can start incorporating a little bit of speed. And you also want to keep your arms down by your belt loops, because most of us, don't want to be T-Rex, but I find myself doing that too. It's like, oh, okay, relax, And keep your hands loose. You just want to be loose, because it helps you stay relaxed, it helps keep your chest open, helps you breathe. And a lot of people ask me about breathing, and the best article I read, and really, because it's hard to tell somebody how to breathe, but what works for me is just a rhythm. And you have to figure out what works for you. And say 2 in, 3 out, 2 in, 3 out. And just kind of, once your body gets used to doing that, then it gets easier to breathe. But it just takes being consistent and really, just staying at it to build the capacity, keeping your chest open and your posture good. So that's probably the best thing to do. And then post-run, that's when you can do your static stretching. See, I got static right. So that's your stretch and hold. Your basics, all those stretches that you do. Because you're already warmed up, so you're less likely to pull a muscle or hurt yourself. And if you can do it for 5 to 10 minutes after your run or walk, that would be ideal. Most of us jump in the car and go on to the next thing, but I know I do, I'm really bad about it. But if you can try to do it, it's going to help tremendously.
You're not as sore the next day.
Exactly. And you're less prone to get injured. Speaking of injuries, there's all kinds of things that come up with starting a running program or a walking program. The most common injuries I would say are runner's knee, which is the tendon underneath your knee. Your kneecap goes back and forth, and sometimes it can just get sore. IT band, it's a whole band that runs from your hip to your knee. You usually feel it in the side of your knee or in your hip. If you're really running distance, you'll feel the whole thing, I promise. So there's all kinds of things to help with minor injuries, I guess. One is a foam roller, and you get down and dirty with it. It hurts, you scream, you moan, but it helps. You can put your own pressure on it, so you literally get down on it and roll the muscles out. And there's great YouTube videos if you really want to learn the proper technique of rolling. Trigger Point has great YouTube videos that you can use. There's things like the stick that are great for travel. Same thing, you'll be rolling out the muscles and the trigger points and the lactic acid that builds up in the body. So all these great things, as well as, that's for like little, say you have a piriformis, which is right here in your rear end. You can sit on that and really get into one spot and break up that tissue, relax it. And also, of course, chiropractors and massage therapists, it's all good and it's all needed sometimes. Compression socks and sleeves. Sleeves while you're active. If you have shin splints or calf pain, you put the sleeve on and it really helps. It stabilizes the muscles and it helps with blood flow, which repairs the tissue. So it's also good for recovery. And there's compression socks that are really the best for recovery. And somebody mentioned earlier they had plantar fasciitis, so we've got plantar fasciitis sleeves. Balls like this you can roll your foot on to break up the tissue. You can then freeze up the water bottle and roll your foot on iced water bottle. Most people, I would say 5 people that come in our store a day have plantar fasciitis, so it's a very, very common injury. So you just want to, that's another reason to stay stretched out, because it usually comes from your calf being tight and pulling on your Achilles, which pulls onto your foot, and so try to take that time to stretch. A few other little goodies, I guess, that are extras that you can reward yourself with when you've done really good in your program would be my favorite, the running glove. So you put it around your wrist, and it's it's your sweat belt, I guess, or if it's raining outside, it's fun and they're cute. Sorry guys, they're cute. There's sweatbands, blondie bands, you can keep the flyaways away, keep the sweat out of your face. Oh, the essential, tell them about BodyGlide.
Oh yeah, to back up just a bit,
Yeah.
one of the essentials that you will probably need is some kind of anti-chafing. And that's what, there's lots of them out on the market. Sport Shield is my favorite. It goes on like Teflon. It's almost like a roll-on antiperspirant. But anywhere that you chafe, whether it's ladies at the base of your bra or along your waistband or on your foot, if you have a hot spot on your shoe, rub a blister. You can rub this on anything. It's not water soluble. You can't sweat it off. It comes off with soap and water. The nicest thing about it around here, sand won't stick to it. So you can rub it on the beach. It's really nice. But you definitely need some kind of anti-chafe.
Yeah, and so the other thing I want to say about injury is that, if it's something more than just an irritation, don't run through it, don't walk through it, go see about it, take some rest days, you definitely don't want to make it worse. Other gear, I was going to talk about our GPS watches that we love so much. You forgot to wear his this morning, so.
Oh, you want me to talk? Okay, so we sell all Garmin products at this point. They have so many great products on the market. GPS watches, which will track your speed, your distance, everything that you need to know when you're out there on. Of course, when you're not in GPS mode, they'll also track your steps, so you know every day how many steps you're taking, which is really cool. But the new ones, it also gives you your heart rate on your wrist. Used to be that you had to wear a check. No more. You can get this. It's on your wrist. You know your heart rate.
Activity levels.
Yeah. It'll also
So
track.
when you're in the gym.
You can use it in your gym, exactly. It gives you your activity, your intensity minutes, which you should have 150 intensity minutes a week, which is your heart rate above a certain level, depending on what your level is. It will track that for you. It also, they're really cool because it will track stand-up paddle boarding. You can use it for walking. You can use it for golf. You can use it for just about anything. It's all preloaded into this, which is pretty neat. And it's Bluetooth enabled, so it plays to your phone, so you can seamlessly, like you don't have to do anything. It uploads all of your information so that you can look at it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You know what your yearly total is. If you want to see that. And you can pull up maps of where you've run or walked in the past. So if you're in New Orleans and you go for a walk and you have it on, when you get home, you can look at it and see where you were.
Yeah, and you can also download other maps, like if you want to find a place to run, you can, it's limitless. It's amazing, the technology out there, it really is.
And it's being Bluetooth enabled. When you get a telephone call, it'll pop up on your wrist, and no matter if you're within distance. So you'll see where you get text messages when you get phone calls.
And you can read your text messages.
Yeah.
You can't interact with it
You
like
can't
that.
reply back, but you can.
Tracks your sleep.
Yes.
And it tracks your sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love mine, I really do. But it's not a necessity, but it is kind of a fun tool.
I love mine. It does everything except tell you to wear it. Which is my favorite.
It's still plugged in upstairs. What else? Oh, just one more quick thing about safety. When you're running and walking, y'all know, always run or walk towards traffic. You want to be lit up like a Christmas tree if it's early or late. We've got all kinds of safety lights, safety vests. This is one of my favorite new products because you don't have to buy a battery anymore. You just recharge it in your computer, which I love because I won't use things with batteries tags. I won't go get new batteries, but I don't know if this one is charged. But anyway, this one illuminates in front of you as well as flashing. And it's just very important because nobody's paying attention out there. They're on their cell phones driving. So try not to wear earphones. If you do, take one out because you want to be able to hear what's going on around you. You want to hear the cars coming off the road or the dogs coming up beside you.
Or a bear.
Or a bear. I see so many people out there, they're just in their own world. In fact, we were at a race the other day, and one of the guys had his headphones on, and a car was coming right at him from behind. And I don't know why the car didn't see that there were like 10 of us runners out there, but anyway, so he almost got hit, but he didn't. So just be very careful. And then we have just a few other recovery products. One of our favorites is the UFO sandal. I don't know if y'all heard of UFOs, but they're arch support sandals, but they're really cloudy and squishy and they feel amazing. And you walk in and you say, ooh, that's what I love those. And we also carry Spinco sandals and Bionic. I don't know if y'all heard of Bionic, but it's basically an orthotic that a sandal is built on, but it's a pretty sandal. And we have inserts and heel cups and all kinds of things for that because
so many people have plantar fasciitis, and that's what these products are made for, or just to give you more support, make you feel good.
So that's about it. Do you guys have any questions for us?
When you're walking, you see some people using the smaller weights in their hands. So where would you hold your hands when using the weights, and why would you use it?
I guess they're using the weights to get a little bit more,
Upper body strength.
but you would still want to,
Right, right.
you don't want to, still want to get it
Yeah.
around. You do.
Yeah, you want to apply
Because you can eat, when you do this, you feel your whole chest kind of close up. You know, you want to be relaxed and open in your chest. So I would still, but yeah, I've seen those people out there, weights. That's cool. Any other questions? Yes.
Will you have another 625K?
Yes, so we have 2 per year. The other one will start in August. It's really hot, but it just works out that way. And our goal race then is the Wicked Triple Fun Run, which is in October. So yeah, if you like Run With It on Facebook, that's where I pretty much put everything out there is on Facebook. So just go like us on Facebook and I'll post when it's going to be. Yeah, and if anybody's interested in this one, we started last week, but it's not too late. So and I think most of y'all got the schedule. If y'all have any questions, just give us a call down here.
Do you do any lifting to help with running? Like, I've heard that lifting helps with muscles and
Yeah, I mean, we occasionally will have a clinic at the store, but you definitely want to cross-train, absolutely. With any running activity, you definitely want to cross-train. The best things to do are light lifting, or depending on your, it all depends on your activity level, but yeah, lifting, yoga, walking, riding your bike, swimming is fantastic. Definitely want to cross-train, absolutely. So like in our Couch to 5K program, we meet out in the park and we do our active stretching.
Dynamic.
Dynamic stretching, and then we go do our workout and then we come back and we stretch. But we also have clinics for yoga and things like that, sometimes incorporated with that. So yeah, absolutely.
You really want to work on your core. Working a strong core is going to be the best thing you can do for running. Really for anything.
Yeah,
Any
really, all
exercise,
around.
you want a strong core.
And your store is in Navarre, or you have one here in Fort Walton?
We did. We actually closed the one in Navarre because once we opened, we realized that nobody shops in Navarre. They either go to Pensacola or Fort Walton, and we started meeting the running community. So we closed the one in Navarre and we're open just in Fort Walton. So we're at, you know where the big parking lot is downtown? We're right on that parking lot. There's a mural all the way up and down there. We're right next to the theater and across from the library.
We have a mural of runners 165 feet down the side of our building. You can't miss us. We're right on the parking lot, right behind the landing. The landing park is right there on Brook Street. We're right across from it. Any other questions? I'm sorry.
right in the middle of town.
Right in the middle of
Yes.
downtown. You can't miss us.
Got a cozy footprint.
And if you guys want to come up and check out stuff and ask us any more questions, please feel free to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.